What's going on, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 13 in my 11th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And continuing along here with day number 13, I decided to go with a slasher film. And that film is Slaughterhouse from the year 1987. This is a film that I had known about for quite a while. Like, I pretty much knew what it was about. But I thought I had seen it, but I think I was thinking of a different film, because watching this I was like, yeah, I didn't see this before. Slaughterhouse is kind of a kind of an interesting little slasher. Has a unique little setting with the slaughterhouse setting. So this film basically follows a family comprising of a father and a son. The father's name is Lester Bacon, and he owns and runs a slaughterhouse. And due to financial problems, the town lawyer, the sheriff, and a rival slaughterhouse is trying to buy out his land and his property and his slaughterhouse because, you know, he's not very successful as he once was. He has this very old school mentality where it kind of reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a bit. I mean, that makes sense, right? Slaughterhouse. But he doesn't like the new machinery and the, automated process of the meat processing. Like, he prefers the old school way, sledgehammer and the artistry and skill and craftsmanship of a butcher than this new school system, which is just, loses the touch and the, quality control. So he's sort of stuck in his ways. The world has sort of moved on, and his way of doing the slaughtering in the slaughterhouse is old school. His son is this big, well, you can see him on the cover. He's this big, hulking, huge, mentally stunted human here. Mentally deranged, hulking, and basically he begins to pick off some people. The opening kill is a couple on a lover's lane type thing that he picks off. Meanwhile, we follow a couple of younger characters who are into partying and stuff. They decide to check out the slaughterhouse, and it's a slasher film. So that's basically the plot. First of all, I gotta say, I really liked the setting of this. It's really cool. When I think of slasher films, especially in the 80s where there were so many, you always want something that differentiates them from others. Like My Bloody Valentine, one, it's set on Valentine's Day. Two, it has a mine setting. Obviously Friday the 13th with the camp setting, which later was kind of ripped off a few times after. You have you have settings that Intruder with the supermarket setting. You want something that's just not a bunch of kids get killed in the woods. At least I do, when you've seen so many slashers. So I really like the aspect that this is at least trying to do something different, have a little bit of different setting. I've always been a really big fan of that. The director of this film, I looked up his filmography, and this is the only directing he's ever done. He only worked on one other film, which is pretty interesting because overall, I mean, for a first film, it's pretty well directed. There's some cool music stuff in there. There's some decent shots even. There's one particular kill that I really liked, not for the gore, but for just how it was shot. And basically there's a person on the outside of a window, and the big slaughterhouse dude comes up behind him and just, hatchets his ass. and that was a cool scene. There's another hatchet or meat cleaver to the face with somebody wearing a mask that was, although you don't see a whole lot, it felt particularly brutal. There's some overall like decent kills in this one. It's a film that doesn't overstay its welcome. It's 85 minutes. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's like A tier slasher or S tier slasher. You know, it's like lower B, C tier slasher, but still very enjoyable. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's worth watching if you've never seen it. This particular release comes to us courtesy of Vinegar Syndrome, one of my favorite labels, if not my favorite label out there. So definitely check it out if you never have. With that said, I'll see you guys next time with another review. Peace.